It's the new Bundy Ranch, but in Oregon now, and with a twist. Rick Barkley is the owner of the Sugar Pine mining claim in southwestern Oregon, and he's in a bit of a snit with the Bureau of Land Management. And he kind of brought this on himself. What he's done is that he's in an administrative dispute over mining rights at his mining claim, and because he was afraid of what might happen and what the BLM might do while they figure this administrative problem out, he actually called on militia members to come to his assistance like they did at the Bundy Ranch near Las Vegas last year. Only now it's kind of a problem, and he's saying, please, you guys, please just go away. And they're not believing him. And that's what's so crazy about this. So let's just show, first of all, let's see, he's got a, he says, we don't need any more volunteers. We're not under attack. This is not the Bundy Ranch. And he told the Mail Tribune, please stop calling the BLM and threatening their personnel. And so what's happened now?
Scaring my dog. Back off.
And this is just kind of nuts. I mean, this is how the militia movement has gone. I just think obviously they've been off the rails for a while, but have just they're completely ignoring all of the entreaties from the guys who are actually dealing with this. They're saying please stop coming, and they're doing it anyway.
I think he initially wanted some help, like you want like a 24-hour watch over a property or something like that. But that doesn't mean you want to have rifles pointed at federal agents. Like they don't understand that you don't have to immediately go to 11. Like you can be at 6 or 7 on the extremism scale for a week or two and see what the feds do.
See what's going to happen. So what happens here is that the BLM has ordered them to move their equipment because it is really unclear who owns the mining rights. In the United States, there's differences between who owns the surface rights, the stuff on top of the ground, and the mineral rights, the stuff below the ground. In the West, those things are severed. And just because you live on or own the surface rights doesn't mean you have the right to the mining underneath. And if you own the mining right doesn't mean you have the surface rights automatically. And the rights for this claim, this particular claim, were transferred back in '61. The BLM never received any new claim of ownership from anybody, no deeds, no property listings or anything. And so the BLM says when that happens, then it reverts back to the United States. So this is where the dispute is centered. It's really just administrative. There's a whole court process to figure out, okay, let's go through all the paperwork since 1960 and figure out what happened. But this guy was worried, the owner was worried that they were going to come take his equipment away. That's why he called on the militia. And now the militia members are coming in. He called on the Oath Keepers in Oregon. And they've started streaming to the site with their survival gear and their camping gear because they want a standoff. So this is their first video of these guys, some of these guys that decided to post what they were going to do on Facebook, and you can see what they said.
How's it going, everybody? This is Sergeant Senator with the Arizona State Militia. Right now we are en route to Oregon. Going to help out down there. Apparently the BLM's coming through trying to kick people out, trying to take over a gold mine with the American people. Plus me and Blaine, we're not going to let that happen.
Yeah, so, and then there's another one. This is Blaine Cooper. Now remember, before we play this, remember that the owner of the mining claim has asked them not to show up anymore.
There's a lot of opposition over there telling people to stand down and turn around. That is not true. Do not listen to him. This guy needs all the help he can get out there because he said he's never done anything like this before. So we as Americans need to get behind each other. That's what being Americans all about. We don't allow our neighbors to be enslaved or beaten or tortured by government jackboots because they want to steal our land and our resources and keep us under their thumb. He's our contact. We already told him we're on our way. We got security teams on their way. We even got some heavy hitters on their way. We won't tell you who because we got OSPAT. So anyway, you guys, this is Blaine Cooper. Make sure this video gets out. We are standing off with the BLM in Oregon.
Pull over before you record your video, idiot.
Why do you have to make it? So then, how do you have to wait till you upload it? You're not going to upload it while you're driving, are you?
You're not live streaming.
You can't title and tag it while you're driving.
And not to put too fine a point on the facts, nobody's being tortured, no one's being enslaved. It's really just a secretarial problem.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Like, if you were going there to evaluate the mental health of a person and you found in one paragraph that the government is torturing people with no evidence, that they're jackboots, they use the word jackboots, and they're putting you under their thumb. The only thing he was missing was that they're ramming something down your throat. That would be the trifecta, or the perfect storm of anti-government extremism.
Okay, so there's one more, well, two more actually. So now remember, they asked them to stand down. So check out this video about what the Oath Keepers think about that idea.
You may have seen on some mainstream media websites that there was a stand-down order given. That is not true. Disregard anything that comes from mainstream media, okay? There's stuff coming directly down from Washington. This thing's blowing up so huge. We need people here. We need people. So get down here, and we need press. We need people to come in here who are going to give these people a fair shot, because it could mean their life. The BLM is not to be trusted, as we have seen. Their track record is not good at all, and they have burnt down people's cabins out here. Okay, so they're tyrants. Period. There has been no stand down order given. Period. Okay. Period. Get people here.
And that's exactly the opposite of what the mining owner is now asking them to do. He's saying, yes, please stand down, please do not come. And there's just one more. He's asking them to please stop threatening the BLM.
One more thing, you guys. Don't call in any federal offices making threats or anything like that. There's been a lot of people doing a lot of stupid things, calling out threats. We don't need that.
Yeah.
We just need to keep level, keep cool, keep calm.
Wow.
So they say they're not trying to promote a confrontation, but they're just all going to show up with their guns and pretend like that's not what they're after. And what strikes me the worst about this is that if they really were concerned about government tyranny and government killing people, then they would be out there protesting against cops killing unarmed people.
Yes.
Yeah. The actual killing that they were referring to earlier.
And the actual torture, like in Chicago.
Yes, there's actual torture. In fact, do you know that the city of New York, Bloomberg News estimated that in 1 year, the city of New York City of New York, paid over $700 million in police brutality claims. 1 year, almost $1 billion. That's more money than they spend running their parks and recreation. On police
Where
brutality.
much of the brutality happens, actually.
And yes, and these guys, these lizard-brained, mouth-breathing, toothless morons are worried about the Bureau of Land Management, a secretarial agency, basically.
Essentially, yeah.
This is the people who you guys are upset about. So again, your lizard brain, you're easily manipulated by the man being paid by the corporation on television who tells you to be afraid of everything except the thing you should be afraid of.